Hey guys, sorry, hang on. Let me see if I can get this a little bit more straight. Obviously, I don't have my normal setup. I have just checked in to the Hampton, the AC finally cut off. The Hampton Inn & Suites here in New Braunfels, because tomorrow I am actually attending the Texas Homeschool Expo. And the day after, I am actually speaking at the Texas Homeschool Expo. Now I'm so excited. I will be speaking twice. Once on avoiding the homeschool trap that is homeschooling in Texas, which is no oversight. So making sure we don't slip right on into getting nothing done. And then the other topic is balancing acts, which is how to homeschool multiple children. So yes, I am really excited. Okay, wait, let me do the intro. Okay guys, so this video, and I have been playing with it for a while. I've actually filmed it. This will be the second time I filmed it. This video is thoughts on 40 and everything else.
I don't think we should be legislating from it.
Guys, before we go any further, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find me right on down in the comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. As I have said, I am not in my normal setup. I'm here in this hotel room, so forgive any, sound quality, lighting, any of that, please. The first time I filmed this, it's a little ranty and a little crazy and just scattered. And so I sat down and I actually made a list of 40 points that I want to make. So I don't know how long this video is going to get. I'm going to try to go quickly. But what I'm not going to do is point them out. I have my list in front of me, which probably willing to share if anybody's interested. But I'm turning 40 and that's a big deal. And it's important to me that I wanted to share it. I kept thinking about it, and I really want to film it now because for the first time in parenthood, I am out and away from all of the people that I live with for an overnight. So this has just never happened. I've been away from portions of them along the way, but never all of them at the same time, totally on my own. Also, it's a really big milestone for me is I am speaking publicly, and this is a big deal. This is something I, first of all, have always wanted to do. Second of all, is totally new and crazy because I'm used to talking to you, a camera on a tripod with a little microphone. This will be to actual real life bodies who will have actual real life questions. So I'm hoping that I can keep it together. But also I'm suffering with quite a bit of imposter syndrome because I don't have a college degree. I'm not qualified to do this. You guys know I've said it 1,000 times. I don't know what I'm doing. I've just done it for a while and I've picked up some things along the way. So I am both totally petrified, but also incredibly excited, a little bit chill. I don't know where that's coming from, but I feel prepared. I feel like I've done my job. So now I just have to get out there and do it because scary things are the things we should do more, right? Anyways, okay, so here are my thoughts on 40 and everything else. Now I'm going to start with 40 specific. I'm not scared of aging. Why am I not scared of aging? Honestly, I feel like I am a fine wine who gets better with age. And it's just a new and exciting bit of personhood, womanhood, motherhood. Each stage I feel like I get to, and I really do feel like I am more myself every year, which is wild and crazy. But I do feel like there's and I think this is indicative of womanhood, that there's just less F's to give. You know what I mean? I could care less if people agree with, I don't need the validation. It is just, I am excited for 40 and beyond. And I just truly feel like I've broken out of those shackles of kind of that expectation of other people, mainly because I don't care anymore. But yes, I'm excited for 40. And if you need to know, I am more than ever because again, 40, I am recognizing my need to focus on my health. So I'm sure I'll be here to share and go along with that with you, but I am feeling more and more of that need to focus on my health, to make sure I'm here for another 40 because I want to be. I want to be. I am incredibly thankful to have made it this far, to have done the things that I have done. It is not lost on me that many people do not enjoy making it to another day, making it to many days, making it to 40 years. And so I am so excited that I am one of those people who has been provided this gift, and I shan't squander it because I do recognize it as a gift. I do not feel unrequited about things. I don't have regrets about things, there are things in my life that have gone a certain way because they needed to go that way. The person that I was in that moment needed to make the decisions that she made in that moment to get to where I am now. And I love where I am now. So I don't suffer a lot of regrets. None of this was according to plan. I did not want to get married. I did not want to change my name. I did not want to have kids. I didn't want to have girls. And I certainly didn't want to have 2 girls. And here I am. And it is absolutely, you get what God thinks you need or what you deserve. And I am convinced that the world will need the girls I raise. And that is why I have them. So none of this is according to plan, but all of it is just so much better. So much better. Okay, so this comes from kind of my background with hair and cosmetology. You guys know I'm a licensed cosmetologist. Here is something that I have learned is that you do not need to feel self-conscious about things because no one is looking at you. And if they are, they're not looking at you for very long. As soon as you have passed, the thought of you has passed, they are so busy worrying about themselves. They are so worried about what you think about them. And I also am a firm believer that the way you feel you look is the way people will interpret your look. I have seen a lot of people show up and rock something in a way that is indescribable because they knew they could. Not because society would have told them they should or because anything we know about fashion or bodies or anything would have made that connection, but it was glorious to witness people who did it because they freaking knew they could. And I want that. I want that for myself and for you, absolutely. There is no reason that you should be avoiding life because of your thoughts around your looks, because again, people are not thinking about you. They are worried about themselves. The most important thing that you can do in this entire world, firm believer, is be kind. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if you agree. It doesn't matter if you disagree. Just be kind. If you lead from a place of kindness, you will always be doing the right thing. I'm not saying you have to agree with someone, and I'm not saying you have to go along with them. But if you can approach the world from a place of kindness, that is literally all that matters. It truly is. And you guys know my life philosophy. I've said this a million times, and I say this to my children all the time. Just don't be an asshole. That's it. All you have to do is not leave the world worse than you found it. It is really important to admit when you are wrong, and it is okay to be wrong. It is okay to have gotten more information that made you change your mind. And I don't care if you were the loudest person about whatever it was, it is okay and good. It is a good thing to gather more information and then change your mind about a topic, okay? Do not let your ego get in the way. And just like you should give others the space to change their mind on things, you should give yourself the grace and the space and the honesty to also be allowed to change your mind. Okay, here's the big one, and I think people mistake this a lot. I do not need people to agree with me to feel worthy. I do not need the external validation. Honestly, I kind of enjoy it when people don't agree with me, or at least don't agree with me wholeheartedly, because then I know that everyone is thinking. There's a famous quote, I think it was Patton, who said, if everybody in the room agrees with me, I'm in the wrong room. And I am a big believer that we should all get to our decisions in our own way, on our own path, believing what we believe. We should all get there on our own. And I don't need you to feel the same way that I do. I do need you to be kind. Okay, so it's always going to come back to that. Just be kind. We can disagree and still enjoy each other. That's perfectly fine. I do think that education can solve every problem ever in the whole wide world. I do think that by allowing my children to read or learn about cultures that aren't theirs, or people who aren't like them, or families that don't look like theirs, that I am giving them a gift that will allow them to change the world. It is spreading that empathy for other people, that understanding, and I'm going to circle back to this one in a minute, but education, I do think there's no such thing as too much learning. Absolutely not. I do think I personally enjoy learning very much, and I think I enjoy learning about a lot of different things. So I don't ever want to pigeonhole myself or my kids or anybody into thinking that because you enjoy one topic, that's all you get. You don't get any other topics, or it's a boy topic or a girl topic or, a white topic or a black topic. No, we are all just doing our best to kind of make it on this globe around the world, and we deserve and we have a responsibility to our fellow man to learn as much as we can. I do think that working in the service industry creates important life skills. I think you don't understand how to handle others, manage others, the expectations of you, or how to be, it's not kind, I'm trying to think of the word, how to deliver things with tact, firm tact, until you have been in the service industry. I do think it is a very important skill to know when to keep your mouth shut. And I'm a girl who's going to say some things, okay? You are allowed to reserve judgment. I intentionally reserve judgment on a lot of topics that tend to kind of blow up in the world, because I'm not going to pretend like I know things I don't know. And I would rather sit back and gather more information before approaching a topic, because I would rather take the time to, one, educate myself, two, understand different perspectives, because frequently it's a situation I am privileged enough to have not been impacted by. I would rather reserve judgment than rush to condemn. And that is not because for vanity's sake I want to be correct. It is for kindness. It all comes back to kindness. And again, I recognize that I'm a privileged person who has not lived through many things. Something that I learned in a birth class, which I think is true in all of life, is that almost no decisions are immediate. You always have time to sit and think about it. Almost, even people will come at you as if it is an intense and furious and right now thing. Almost no decisions cannot allow you to leave the room, step away, look something up, take a Google, take 5 minutes. So almost no decisions are immediate, and it is important to treat them as such. It is always okay to get more information. I do, again, want to point out, I recognize my privilege in so many ways. I am privileged to homeschool. I am privileged to have children. I am privileged to have a wonderful partner. I am privileged in many, many aspects of my life. I am privileged that I have not had war knock on my doorstep. I am privileged to have been born in a time when certain things that are now illegal were legal, because I have experienced an amazing amount of rights in my lifetime, and I do intend to continue to fight to preserve those rights for my children, which we'll get to in a minute. It leads me actually into the very next thing. It is important to know when to say something. Frequently, I have realized that my desire to say something is not so that the other person will hear me, because that is not something that I can control. However, when I feel strong enough to say something, it is so that I know I have said it. And that for me is enough. I cannot expect others to listen or follow or change their minds or any of those things, but I can know I have said it. Vote. I don't need you to vote like me. I don't want you to vote like me. I want you to vote the way you feel like you should vote. But right now, I truly believe, not more than ever, I'm not going to be that dramatic. There's always issues that are pressing us, that are important, that are worthy of education and voting. But right now, our country, I truly believe, is at a point where we can go left or we can go right. We can go right and we can go wrong, and we can go further down the path of insanity, or we can start trying to right the ship. And I have had strong party feelings in the past. I don't now. Right now, I truly think that we are in a situation where we need to be working to preserve democracy for our children. And a lot of people would tell you that that's the other way, but I don't believe that at all. Anyone who wants to limit our rights further, I'm all for small government. However, it blows my mind that we are now in a time and place where we are one of the, and I think part of this is narrative, right? It's the American narrative that we are the greatest country. And I do believe that. Why? Because we were raised that way. And I'm in Texas, and it's the greatest state. However, there are people who are actively working to steal rights from myself, from my children, from many factions of our society, and I cannot sit by quietly and allow that to happen. So just vote. And again, I don't need you to vote like me. Okay, I need you to do your research. I need you to vote in a manner that is going to allow you to sleep at night. And if we are only talking about what is truly currently the most important topic to me in the upcoming election, I need you. You're women. Demographically, analytics tell me you're mostly women my age. I need you. You have children, my children's age. That's why you're here. I need you to vote in a manner, and I need you to say this to your people who are voting. I'm going to say it to my family as well, because again, I need to know I have said it. I need you to vote in a manner that allows you to look your daughter in the face, my daughter in the face, your barely double-digit child. I need you to vote in a manner that allows you to look at them in the face and say that you are proud of the way you have voted, and whether that is for them to have been raped and carry that baby to term and then share rights with that rapist, or whether that is I voted to preserve your rights, okay? Because there are certain exceptions I cannot get past, and the fact that they are not allowed for a child who may still need a car seat, for Christ's sake. Okay, they can't vote, they can't have social media accounts, but you're telling me that they should be forced to carry a baby to term. No, I can't. I cannot. And I am not going to tell you that I am pro-choice. I am not pro-choice. I am pro-life. The life of the child that is here and born. Okay, I have really big feelings on this. And it just, and again, I don't need you to vote like I do. I just need you to vote knowing that you're going to have to look in someone's eyes and tell them the way that you voted, or sleep at night knowing the way that you voted. And think about it like this. It may not be you, it might be your grandchild. You need to know. You need to be making these decisions. This is something that is really important. You cannot make every cause your own. You will drive yourself insane. You do have to choose what is most important to you. And it is very important to listen to others. Because I'm not an expert on every topic. I'm not an expert on any topic. Let me not kid. It is important to listen to others because there are other people who are in the trenches. There are other people who have had different experiences. And it is important that you listen to them, and listen to them freely and with your whole heart. And don't bring your opinions to what they should or shouldn't have done. Do not do that. The truth of others doesn't need your belief. Their truth does not need you to believe in it, okay? As soon as you lay down an absolute in parenting, in life, in anything, never becomes now. So I don't know what it is, but if you are saying definitives, absolutely not, never will I, blah, 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 those are the situations that become now. So if you are one of those black-hearted people who says that I'll never have a gay kid, guess what? You're going to be gay. So I'm really going to need you to lead first with empathy. And anytime you are hard, fast, shouting absolutes, never becomes now. You guys know I have said this 1,000 times. Quitting is an important life skill. Hang on. Sorry, I had to change positions because my leg fell asleep. My foot is asleep. The pain. Okay, here we go. Ready? We're back at it. I've said it 1,000 times. Quitting is a very important life skill. It is so important to know when to cut your losses and walk or run away, okay? You are not obligated to do anything just because you said you would. It is okay, again, to gather more information and move along. Quitting is an important life skill. Please, when it comes to it, do it. Let it go freely, and move on with your life. Something else, just like with my speaking, fear should never stop you. You can have a million reasons to not do something, but if fear is the only one, absolutely not. You need to get out there and do it. Why? Because you can be proud of yourself, because it makes you a better person to be able to conquer your fears, and because there is somebody watching you. So if you allow fear to dictate how your life goes, they will allow fear to dictate how their life goes. And that's not good enough, okay? You deserve better. Everybody watching you deserves better, so do not let fear stop you. Something that I think is really important, choose your life partners well. And I'm not talking about just your spouse, I'm talking about the people you surround yourself with, because they truly are indicative of the thoughts you will think, the places you will go, the feelings you will have. If you are filling your life with a garbage pail of people, that's what you're going to get out of this. Now, it is really important to choose your partner well, and bestie also, but I'm talking specifically your partner in life. So I get compliments all the time on how great my husband is. Like, yes, absolutely. But also, like, I chose knowing I had certain expectations of him and from him, and he is an amazing partner. And also, I feel like we do a really good job of communicating when one of us isn't doing the things that the other one needs. So being able to be a good partner, but also choosing a good partner is so important. And I tell my daughters all the time because I don't know if I want to have kids. It's great. You don't have to. Well, I think I do, but I don't want to get married. Also great. That is good for you. But I will tell you, choosing intentionally to solo parent is really hard. So I hope that you have a good network and a good support system, whatever that is. And I want that for you. So I hope also that you are choosing your partners well. And in that relationship, it is really important to not become complacent. For me, the biggest fear that I have when it comes to your relationships is becoming complacent, taking them for granted, because I think once you start getting those cracks, that's where the weeds grow. And so if you can go out of your way to not become complacent, I think it will help you, as long as everybody is truly in it, it will help you to not get too far off the rails, because I have a firm belief that affairs and situations like that are a half step. They're never a full jump. So if you are already on the brink, it's just a half step. If we are nowhere near that, okay, those things don't happen as full jumps. They are half steps. It is really important to recognize evolution, your own. I am not the same person I was when I started this channel. I'm not the same person I was a year ago. I'm not the same person I was when I became a parent the first time or the second time. I'm not the same person I was when I got married. It is important to recognize evolution. You need to allow people to change. You have to allow your kids to become different people, yourself to become a different person, your spouse to become a different person. And it can be really hard to love all of those people through all of those things. But it is important to recognize evolution and to allow people to reinvent themselves just the same way that you are allowed to reinvent yourself. Any amount of limits in the world, you can do anything, absolutely. But for the most part, limits come from within and you can overpower them. So if you need to, change something in your life, you are limiting yourself. Many things can be overcome. Now, I am not saying that we all start from an even place, because I don't believe that we do. I believe there are a lot of societal situations that impact that set some people up on an entirely different course that is harder for them to break out of. But I do believe that it is possible, and that your mindset plays an absolutely huge role in whether or not you are limiting yourself. A large portion of limits come from within. You should be giving freely of yourself. So if you give something, give it freely. Don't give it with strings. Don't give it with attachments. If you give attention, give it freely. If you give a compliment, give it freely. If you, and I have this discussion with my daughters a lot, if you agree to do something, do it wholeheartedly with your whole heart, or else don't do it. Okay. If it is not a yes, it's a no. Okay. So if you're going to do it freely. Because coming back later, this is not nice. This is something that is really important to me. Parenthood is a life choice. It is not a career. And I know that that's going to ruffle a lot of feathers. And I am not saying that stay-at-home moms don't work. I am not saying it is not okay to want to be that. I am not saying any of that. What I am saying is that if you have a little girl and who looks you in the eye and she's like, I want to grow up and be a mommy. Okay, and what? There's no expectation that men are expected to just be like, I want to be a daddy, and that's it. There's no expectation that anybody puts on them. I don't agree that parenting should be a career choice. And it's different if this is your season of life and you're being a stay-at-home mom, absolutely. But I am saying when we are in our formative years and we're looking ahead to the rest of life, if you want nothing more than to be a parent, you're putting a lot of weight and expectation on those little people that you're going to bring into the world. And it's not fair to them and it's not fair to you. You can parent and have a career choice. You can do both. Now, again, I am all in favor and support if you're in a season of life where your life says, I should be a stay-at-home mom. Because guys, I have been there. I have walked away from lucrative positions because my focus shifted and I wanted it to be on my family and I wanted to make all of their dreams come true. It is perfectly enviable and wonderful. But what I am saying is please encourage your daughters especially. Okay, mommy, and what? Mommy and, okay? You can be a parent and something else, okay? You do not have to choose either or. You don't. And this brings me back to what I was going to say earlier. It blows my mind that we are in a place where these are things that we're actively having to talk about in 2024, that there are people who have even offhandedly mentioned some of the things that they have mentioned. There's a wide web of craziness going on. And so guard your heart, educate yourself, vote your conscience. Come back here, we'll continue chatting, educate your kids, give them grace, give yourself grace to learn, evolve, and grow, get new information, make new decisions, and that's all okay. Quit when you know that it is right for you. And just, these are things. These are my thoughts. These are my thoughts. My thoughts on 40 and like I said, just everything else. And it is blowing my mind that we are such an amazing and great country in the world. And somehow we still have children who are hungry. We still have places that do not have clean water. And it is unacceptable. It is unacceptable on every level that we cannot get every child in this country fed. We can't get them a full belly. We can't get them a good quality education. And guys, yes, I homeschool, but I am a huge, huge supporter of teachers and the education system, okay? Our children need an education. Not everyone is as privileged as we are to be able to choose homeschooling for our kids. So big feelings all around. And I know that you guys are going to let me know if you had crazy thoughts on 40, big list, what would you add? What would you add to this? Or, if you take offense, what do you not agree with? I'm okay with hearing what you don't agree with. Just be kind. That's it. And again, more information allows us to make different decisions. So by all means, share. But again, kind, okay? Kind to me, kind to someone else you might not agree with in the comments is also important, okay? So guys, I hope that you found any of this helpful, entertaining, or informative. If you did, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find me right on down in the comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. Feels good to get some of this out because, I don't know, it's been wild lately. It has been, one more thing that I know that I wanted to talk about. A very common misconception, especially over on Instagram. You guys know, I've said this before, I do have a personal faith. I do. I believe in God. I have what I would argue is a very secure amount of faith in what I believe in. I just don't necessarily agree that everybody else should be subjected to that or that should play a big role in my homeschool. That's it. I definitely don't think we should be legislating from it, but who am I? Just a crazy American over here.
From it. I don't think we should be legislating from it. I don't think we should be legislating.